Welcome to Echoes of the Past, bringing you memories, musings and ramblings from a time long since gone. I'm Deb and I'd be honoured if you'd join me today as I consider the challenges that we faced when we left South Africa for the UK. In every instance, the motivation for immigration is unique. With that said, there is, within that uniqueness, a commonality that transcends race, religion, gender and time. And that is the faith that you will find something better in another place. In 1990, my husband and I, newly married, left South Africa for England. It was an absolute disaster. And with the help of my parents, we moved back to South Africa for 8 months. In this time, our first child was born. I didn't want to return to the UK, but the simple fact was that we couldn't stay. We had a small baby whose future we had a responsibility to protect. Both my husband's parents and my parents were preparing to immigrate to the UK. We had no money of our own and we quite simply wouldn't have survived had we tried to stay in South Africa. I forget when I stopped thinking about home. It didn't take weeks or even months. It took years, tens of years, to accept our new life. What made it so difficult had nothing to do with the UK. Mostly, it was the loss of contact with family and friends. We didn't have Facebook in those days, and letters took weeks to move to and from South Africa. Grandparents passed away. Uncles and aunts passed away. Cousins and friends married and had children. We had children, and they were growing up without their extended family or our childhood friends. Yes, we had both our parents in the UK, but they had their own challenges and distractions, trying to adapt and adjust to their new lives. And quite simply, it was a desperately lonely time in a place that we just didn't understand. It took an enormous amount of focus and energy to keep reminding ourselves why we'd left South Africa and everything that we loved and knew. Life slowly crushed my soul for a very, very long time. Losing the people and the world that we had grown up with, experiencing the loss of both my parents to the trauma of immigration and old age, whilst we were trying to create a home and a place of belonging for our own children in a world we barely understood. It wasn't easy. And I can hardly imagine how difficult life must have been for those pioneers who left the UK for places like America and Australia or even South Africa hundreds of years ago. But they did it. And because of their courage and sacrifice, their families would go on to forge new lives and new worlds with prospects they could have only dreamt of in the UK at the time. With the benefit of hindsight, would I do it again? If it meant keeping my family safe, then yes, I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. Because despite the heartache, the miserable moments, the grief and the trauma, in the end we made it through the storm. So today I look back on our journey and I thank our parents for their sacrifice. And I thank the UK for giving us a new place to call home. Until the next time, keep your memories close, but keep those around you closer. Deb out.